Okay, so what I'm doing here, you see the log in the left there? That's just my HUD, my HUD from the other video. I'm using it because I'm using a Mac and I can't see Unity logging statements, and I don't want to faff around with Logcat. So I just use sort of I think the word is diegetic, DIAGETIC, diegetic log, just an in-game log. So what I'm doing here on the controller is pressing the menu button, and you see that I've bound a log statement to the menu button press, and I will jump into code right now and show you how I did that. Kind of my log, and here's my menu button listener, and we will notice that the menu button listener takes an instance of my log. That doesn't really matter. If you have Windows, you can just do debug.log. And then it takes a input action reference. So what is an input action reference? As I said in the last video, part one, on the XR origin, we've got uh, a asset manager, and it's got an associated asset. Now, if we click on this, what we want to bind to is that menu button. So it actually wasn't bound in the default XRI mapping. So I had to add a menu. So I did plus to add a menu. And then once I got there, I knew it was a button. And for the binding, you do plus to add a binding. And for the binding, I just went into XR controller, left hand. I'm not exactly sure what usages means, but that's what you want to click. And then menu, I think it was menu button, and that's the binding. And what that does when you set that up, and I think optionally you can determine whether you're doing a press or a long press or whatever. Once that's set up, you end up with under this asset. Remember, again, this asset is XR origin input action manager. You want to twirl down the action asset. This is C# generated code. If I open this, this is generated. I don't really need to mess with that right now. But the action asset is under this disclosure here. And then if we scroll down to look at its children, so we want left interaction menu. That's our new one. And that is an input action reference. So when we go to configure our little script, we want to drag menu into here. Okay, so let's have a look at that script. What's the easiest way to get there? Can I open it from here? Edit script, sure. So again, don't worry about the complicated logging. I've got a custom logger. I'm doing logger.log. You could do debug.log. So what we've got is our public input action reference, and that's getting that left controller menu button input action I just showed you. Now we're doing a little logging on startup, and then we're enabling the action, and we're adding a callback. We're adding a callback, and then we're enabling the action. And then the callback is just logging. And here you would show and hide UI. You could do whatever you wanted with that menu button. Typically, in apps like Supernatural and other professional VR apps, you see that left menu button open an app specific menu. Again, the context is the right button, the Meta button or the Oculus button opens an OS specific menu. It'll bounce you back to the enclosing operating system, whereas the left menu button, what we're working on now, is for app specific menuing.